Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, here with my show co Charlene Chamberlain. Char, that was a good guest this morning.
Were
to
you
start
drinking
off the
that
show.
rum afterwards
I was.
during the break?
I was. That spice rum looks so good. I didn't taste it, but
No, we didn't.
Quite early in the morning.
Yeah, a little too early for alcohol.
Yeah, but it really
It is
looked
called
good.
morning coffee.
Yes, it is called morning coffee, but maybe a little splash in the coffee.
Well, maybe for lunch.
Yeah, maybe for lunch. Which actually, for lunch, we have our food sponsor today.
Who's that?
It's actually Jersey Mike's from Marlton.
Oh, very nice.
It's bringing in sandwiches for lunch today, so I'm very happy.
Great. Well, I know because you're a big foodie.
I am a foodie. So what do we got next?
Well, on to a very, very important topic and a very, very welcomed and important guest. With us now is Carol Kivler, and Carol is a speaker, an author, a trainer, and a mental health advocate. Welcome to Morning Coffee, Carol.
Welcome.
Well, thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome. We're happy to have you here. Carol has her own journey that she has traveled with. I know you've had some mental health issues throughout your life, and I really would like you to share your story with our audience members. You can tell it best.
Okay, sure. Well, the year was 1990. I was a college professor. I had 3 healthy children. I had a loving husband, a beautiful home, and money in the bank. And
Those are great things.
that was a good thing. And
Yeah.
I started having a lot of different symptoms that were alarming. And so we went to our doctor, and we were tested for things like lupus and multiple sclerosis and Lyme's disease, and everything came back okay.
Negative, right?
Negative. And so the doctor said, I believe you have you're having a depression. And I thought, what do I have to be depressed about?
Yeah, life is good. All the
Life
wonderful
was
things
good.
Everything's in place.
Right.
Everybody's healthy and happy.
Yeah, so off we went to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you're suffering from major depressive disorder, which I didn't even existed,
Wow.
and general anxiety disorder. And she said, that's the good news. We know what it is. The bad news is it's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks for the medication to kick in.
So what did they give you?
They gave me an antidepressant
Okay.
and an anti-anxiety medication.
Right.
Well, within 5 weeks, I was into a full-blown psychotic episode, and lost touch with reality,
Oh my gosh.
and became suicidal. And so I
Wow.
ended up in a psychiatric hospital. And for 24 days there, they doused me with all kind of medication. I was walking around like a zombie.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
never
horrible.
out of the lockdown ward. And after the 24th day, they said, this isn't working, and we want to try a new treatment.
Oh my gosh. So you went from here to here within
Weeks.
a week. Yeah, weeks,
Mhm.
a month.
Mhm.
That's very, very frightening. Very frightening. And that could probably happen to anybody at any time.
Well, it's 1 in 4 Americans.
1 in 4 Americans suffers from some type of depressive disorder.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah, it can
Wow.
come at any time.
No, and you don't know it. Like how? I
How?
guess what did they do to say, okay, you have this?
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of things that were very symptomatic that when you put them all together, it adds up to that.
Mhm.
Besides the physical aches and pains
And
that I was
exhaustion,
having,
right?
and-
Is that part of it?
Well, you're not sleeping.
yeah. Okay.
So there's
you are
you either
exhausted.
it's all the extremes. So you either eat too much or don't eat. I stopped eating. You either sleep too
gosh.
much or you don't sleep. I stopped sleeping. Okay.
Wow.
From that comes lack of concentration, the inability to read, the inability to make a decision, the
my
inability
gosh.
to really take care of yourself and anyone around you.
Wow.
It's I call it the beast.
Yeah, that's a big beast.
It's a beast because
Very,
it
very big beast.
steals your ability to live life.
Yeah. And if your family members or people that you are living with or that love you and want the best for you don't know what to do
They have
for
no
you,
idea.
right? Because they're not in there. They
Mhm.
can't see it from your point of view of actually what's happening to you. And I guess you can't really control it,
Not
right?
one
There's
bit.
no way to control it.
Mhm.
And you probably couldn't understand it either, right? What was happening?
No, I really couldn't understand it because I had lost touch with reality.
Yeah.
All right, I thought we were going to be penniless, so I
Right.
stopped eating because I thought what kind of mother would take food out of her children's mouth?
Oh my gosh.
So I
Yeah.
basically stopped eating, losing weight at an alarming rate,
Mhm.
and then with no sleeping. That when you're not sleeping, I don't know if you've ever had a new baby, but a new baby keeps you up like you're a little spacey,
Loopy. Yeah.
loopy.
Yeah.
Okay, and so yeah, you add that in, you add all of those other things, and then your self-worth goes, because I remember I was teaching at the time a college course, and I would stay up all night going over my lectures. And
Prepping
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
I've done this course how many years, but I thought I was a fake and a phony, and they were going to find out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you lose touch with the reality.
Mhm. Wow.
That's pretty deep.
Scary stuff.
Very, very scary.
Mhm.
So they go through this treatment, and then they say it's not going to work.
No,
Or wasn't working.
it's not working. It hasn't worked.
And she's in a mental ward, in a mental institution.
Lockdown ward because I'm still suicidal.
Right.
Now, is this? Did they ever determine whether this is a chemical imbalance or anything?
Part of it is a chemical imbalance.
And that's what floors me. Not to interrupt you, but that's what floors me. It's a chemical imbalance. So why put chemicals in your body like drugs? Like what they need
Right.
to clean. They need to hold off and say, "Oh, we're not going to add any more."
Let's detox this body.
Let's detox this
Let's
body.
start
Why would I
over.
try to add any more chemicals? But that society is
I
here. Here's a
know.
pill.
Here's a
Yeah,
pill.
take
Here's
a pill.
Take a pill. That's amazing.
I have to jump in real quick. I just want to express a story, a little something that happened to me, and it goes. I don't know why I can't talk today, but anyway, this has to do with what you just said.
Because you missed me.
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking about that rum. That's what it is. But a family member went to the doctors because he wasn't feeling well. He just was sluggish, kind of tired, and the doctor said, "You're depressed. Here are some pills." I'm not going to say what they are. He comes home with the pills. This was a family doctor, and I said, "What's wrong with you? Do you have a cold? Do you have the flu?" He goes, "No, I'm depressed, and this is what he gave me." I said, "You've got to be kidding. He's not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they can prescribe this for you, and he doesn't really know anything about your personal life. You went to him because you physically felt tired, and his diagnosis was that you were depressed." So I said, "Please don't take those pills," and we got rid of them. But I think this probably happens a lot.
It does happen.
You know,
Much
and
more
it's
than we
very,
like to
very
say.
scary.
Well, that's because we all want to get better instantaneous.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody wants an answer.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back, and I want to hear the rest of this story. It's got me on the edge of my seat. We'll be right back.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman
Hi.
will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppi's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppi's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppy's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Hey, my name is Jimmy Love, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new television show called Buy, Sell, or Give It Away. Tired of waiting for those high-priced newspaper ads to print? You call them up and you have to wait 2 or 3 days for the ad to show up? Well, no more waiting. Every day, right here at noon, from 12 to 1, Buy, Sell, or Give It Away is going to be accessible for you to call in. Maybe you got a boat for sale. I'm selling my pet dinosaur. Maybe you want to sell your house. Give away some furniture to a family in need. Just give us a call. We'll tell everybody what you have for sale or what you're looking for, and your response will be immediate, and it's free. Hey, listen, summertime is coming. Maybe you want to buy a travel trailer or maybe rent a travel trailer. Just give us a call. Buy, Sell, and Give Away. Fantastic show. Don't miss it. Tune in every day from 12 to 1 right here at RadioVisionNetwork.com. Buy, Sell, or Give It Away.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I am Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, and I'm here with my show co-host Charlene Chamberlain.
You said it right.
I did say it right. So welcome back, Char. We were just talking to
Carol Kivler, and Carol's a speaker, an author, a trainer, and an advocate for mental health and mental health awareness. And she was telling us her journey and all the trials and tribulations and all the things that happened to her that brought her to today, which is very interesting to me. But we were talking about how you were actually in the lockdown ward because you were suicidal. You were not eating, you were not sleeping, you lost weight, you lost touch with reality. They kept giving you more and more and more medication. Nothing was working. You were just falling deeper and deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole.
Right.
What finally happened?
Well, they recommended a therapy. They came in and said, it's not working, we want to recommend a new therapy. So I said, okay, what is that? And they said ECT. Well, so what is that? That's electroconvulsive therapy. And I stopped and I thought, you mean shock therapy?
Right, because that's what we know it to be.
And so what did I think about? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so I said, so you're going to fry my brain.
Right.
So
I'll have no brain left.
I'll have no brain left. And will I ever be the same again? Will I ever be able to go back to teaching? How about mothering my children?
How about sleeping and eating?
How about sleeping and eating? How about being a productive member of society again? And they said, this is your best treatment at this point.
Did they say this was maybe your last hope? Or?
No, they didn't say it was my last hope, but it came off that way. Yeah, it came off that way. So I went ahead with the therapy, and ECT has become my silver bullet.
Amazing. So can you walk us through what that treatment would be like?
Surely. ECT needs a new branding. It needs a rebranding.
Right.
I often tell individuals that ECT is the defibrillator of the brain.
Right.
When our heart stops, they jolt your brain with electricity, you jump and the heart starts. Well, when you're in depression, your neurons either misfire or they stop firing completely.
Right.
With that jolt of electricity, they wake up, they start meeting again, and you come out of the pit.
Wow.
All right. So ECT, when it was first given as a treatment, was inhumane.
Yeah, and how long ago was that? Like
in the 30s.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was maybe late 20s or
in the
30s.
30s.
Yeah, and was it given to I think they start off giving it to prisoners though, right?
Well, it was done for punitive reasons.
Yeah.
Right, and to get people back into walking a straight line.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You misbehaved.
You misbehaved.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Misbehaved, right.
There's something wrong with your brain,
That's
and
right.
now we're
Right.
going to give you shock
we're gonna
therapy
do
to do it. Yeah.
And during the 30s, there were broken bones and chipped teeth, and people got burned, and all this horrible
Well,
stuff.
I am right now running through my brain, seeing some of the pictures from back then.
Right.
Yeah, it's
and
horrible.
but it's not that anymore.
Well, I'm sure.
All right, this is the year 2016. All right, like most medical treatments, it has improved. And so there's anesthesia today. There's a muscle relaxant that you get beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting your brain into a grand mal seizure that lasts less than 30 seconds.
Oh, really?
That's what it is. It's a
Wow.
grand mal seizure.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into the treatment room. You put on a hospital gown. It's usually you can go in as a day patient or an inpatient.
Right.
And they put the heart monitors on, and they put the pulse monitor on.
Right.
And you're given anesthesia. And the interesting part is they take off your socks because they want to see how long your toes twitch.
Really?
Because
Okay.
that they can see how strong the treatment has
Okay.
been based on your toes twitching.
So are there different levels of electricity that are being fed
Yeah,
in?
right,
Yeah, I guess
right.
they based on your body type and
Well,
your weight and all that. I
in the
guess.
beginning, it was based on your gender, your weight, your body type, things of that nature.
Mhm.
Today, there's a threshold test because each of our
Oh.
brains can only take as much as electricity as it needs.
Okay.
So now it's even, since I had first had it in 1990, it's even more
precise.
than
Yeah.
it was when I first had
Mhm.
ECT.
Wow.
But it's not given as a first
Right.
line of defense.
Right. Mhm.
It's given if the other options are not working, and the other options are medication. But there's always talk therapy. It's
Oh,
not
yes,
enough with just
absolutely.
medication.
No. Mhm.
Medication is just a Band-Aid
Mhm.
to find out what is going. Maybe there's something underneath the root cause of what's going on
Right.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how many treatments did you actually have throughout your lifetime?
Well, I'd like to say that this only happened once to me, but it's happened a total of 4 times. So I've had over
4.
50 treatments.
50 treatments.
Over 50. And
Over how many years?
a 10-year period.
10
What do you
years.
mean that it's only happened 4 times?
I've had 4 psychotic breaks.
Okay, so you've had 4 psychotic breaks and you've had 50 treatments
In
to
those
correct
breaks.
that. Okay.
And the breaks were over a 10-year period. And I've had 100 days in psychiatric hospitals.
Wow.
However, I sit here to tell you that recovery is possible.
Mm-hmm. You're a living testament
I'm
to
living
it.
testimony.
So when's
Absolutely.
the last time that you had a treatment then?
Thank you for asking. 1990.
Oh, it was
Wow.
1990. Great.
You are
Okay.
amazing.
1990. No, 1999. 1990, I got sick.
Right.
1999 was my last treatment.
So it was
almost
over
10 years.
10 years.
Okay.
10-year period.
A 10-year
Okay.
period of suffering with mental illness so severe that
And what would happen though, but you know what? Nancy, I would get a block of time that I was pretty well.
You
I went
felt
back
good.
to teaching.
Mhm.
I felt pretty good. And then sure enough, it come back like
a cycle or something.
It
right?
was a cycle. It was only in May.
Only in May.
Really?
Is that the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
Only in May?
It would come back in May, and then it was funny because my friends would call and they'd say, "How you feeling?"
Right.
Every May.
Yes,
you
of
know.
course.
But the first, it was May of 90, May of 94, May of 98, and then 99 I had one also.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what, 15 years clear?
10. Oh yes, almost.
Yeah.
15 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful
you.
that therapy worked for you, and I urge our viewers, please don't be afraid of this. I mean, look at Carol. She's a living testament to this, and, if you are suffering, please reach out,
Mm-hmm.
and don't discount this treatment.
Yeah, don't discount
Yeah.
because there are other things. Now the treatment is not what kept me in recovery.
No, but
It was
jump-started it,
well,
I guess.
yes,
or,
it was.
yeah.
It was part of my
Mhm.
recovery
Right.
strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
you know what? I know you wrote some books. We're going to take a quick commercial, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Good.
Here, we have an attractive orange and a distinguished apple. The two similar, but opposites. Theory, a wingman is needed, or perhaps a wing lemon. A friend to the orange and an acquaintance to the apple, the lemon brings the two opposites together. See, with a little fresh thinking, the universe can be surprisingly smooth.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Fitzpatrick's. Deli dine for breakfast and lunch. And at night, gourmet dine for dinner with entrees and specialty sandwiches including certified black Angus cuts of beef and wild-caught seafood, plus catering options for specialty events. Since 1989, Fitzpatrick's, your hometown place with upscale tastes.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Milan, host of Read All About It. I interview authors of all kinds about their journeys of writing and the struggles that they face. You can watch my show at 12 p.m. on Wednesdays. Tune in to Radio Vision Networks. We hope to see you then.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee with my show co, Charlene Chamberlain, and our guest, Char.
And our guest is Carol Kivler, and Carol's been so generous with her time and her information and her energy, and she's educating us about, mental illness and all the different choices that you have, and the choice that she made that really helped her get well and survive and thrive again. But Carol, during the break we were talking about your regimen, so I know it's just not that.
Yeah.
I know there are other things that you do to keep yourself vital. What are they?
Well, the medical model only kept me well for four years.
Right.
I couldn't get more than 4 years out of the medical
Okay.
model. And the medical model was ECT, medication, and talk therapy.
Right.
So after the fourth break, I decided to see what else I needed to do.
Mhm.
So I started things like acupuncture to help with my anxiety.
Right.
I also worked with a chiropractor, journaling on an everyday basis, watching sleep hygiene, exercise, big deal.
Exercise is key to everything,
because
really.
it has those endorphins, those happy bubbles, and we need them more than most.
Mm-hmm.
And so just added a whole bunch of things. My spirituality is a very big part of it. So I journal every single morning. I'm in the Bible every day. I'm looking for, I have a lot of support from family and friends.
Good.
And so there's a lot of things that I added to. And I think it's a combination of both the medical model and the recovery model. And I blended them together. And because of that, I believe I'm here today.
Yeah, I think it is very important to incorporate all those other aspects of your life that maybe have also been pushed aside or forgotten because you're so desperate to get well and you want to do what the doctors want you to do, and then those things sort of are like, oh, here on the back burner. But now that you've brought all that back in to help with your recovery, it really, promotes more spiritual growth, right? More emotional growth. I think it's great. Well, Carol has written 3 books, well, actually 4, but we have 3 with us here, and she has a new one in the works too. And I would like to just talk about these a little bit. This one I found fascinating. It's the title is "Will I Ever Be the Same Again? Transforming the Face of Shock Therapy." Tell us a little bit about this book.
Well,
Carol.
that was a book. That was definitely a book of many moons. It took me a long time to write that book. And I waited until my children were old enough for me to get their permission to share our family story.
Right.
If any one of my 3 children said, "Mom, I don't really want you to go public with this," I would not have.
Really?
I would absolutely not have.
Well, that's very nice. That's great.
And so it tells you it gives you a look at my first journey in the mental health community, and it also gives you something called a courageous recovery model, which is my model of staying well.
And speaking of Courageous Recovery, that's the name of your nonprofit organization,
It is,
right?
yeah.
And since we just jumped to that, talk about Courageous Recovery. What does Courageous Recovery do?
Yeah, Courageous Recovery goes in and speaks to audiences that can't afford me to come in, basically.
Very
and so
nice.
what it does is it gives, we have funding, sponsorship, and what the sponsorship does is pays for my travel expenses and accommodations as I go around the country sharing my story in medical and nursing schools, treatment centers, association meetings, large mental health conferences, and talking about this is the face of recovery, people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're aiming for.
Right.
Unfortunately, the area that we're in, the mental health area, they plant seeds of fear and limitation. My goal is to plant the seeds of hope and possibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the minute you tell someone, as I was told, you're going to be sick for the rest of your life with this, that's a terrible message to put in my head. So I was always worried about the beast coming back, and it kept coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I flipped the switch and said, no more, I'm focusing on recovery, not illness. So or from illness to wellness.
Right.
So my whole thing is talking about wellness. How do I stay well? How do I sustain wellness? And that's what Courageous Recovery does. We advocate, we educate, and we eliminate. We eliminate stigma.
I love it. And you travel all over the country.
I do.
Giving these talks, and you're donating your time and energy.
Absolutely.
Right. That's pretty amazing. The other book, Mental Health Recovery Boosters, How to Sustain Your Mental Wellness. I think this book would be good for anybody, whether they're actually suffering from depression or mental illness. Mm-hmm. It's an inspiring book.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just, it was interesting. I had written for Esperanza for 2 years, and
Oh,
so
you
I
did?
repurposed.
Okay.
I repurposed my blogs. I was their Sunday blogger.
Oh, nice. That's very nice to know that. Inspirations and Reflections by Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the ABCs of Recovery from Mental Illness. It's like a little handbook here you can
it's a
throw
little
in your
pocket
bag. Yeah.
Pocket guide.
Mm-hmm.
Little pocket guide.
And you, this is actually pretty nice because it has sort of an inspiration or little
Little
like
jog.
go on a learning journey. And then there's some information here about how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. Now, which one was written first? Was it
It's
Will I Ever Be the Same Again? Mm-hmm.
And then came the little ABC
Seas
book,
Recovery.
and then came the Mental Health Recovery Boosters, and coming out in 2016 is Unwrapping the Gifts from Depression.
So what's that going to be about?
That's 10 gifts that I have been able to recognize that depression brought to me, and I don't believe without depression I would have found those gifts.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. You often have to wonder when something devastating or life-changing or traumatic happens to you. And, you know, we were talking about you go to the pity city or the pity party first.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think there is some sunshine at the end of the road here. And what is it? Why did this happen? And what can I take from this? And how can I give back? Or what can I do to make this better for someone else or help someone else through it? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you're all about.
Well, I feel like I'm living my purpose.
Yeah.
You know, God gave me the ability to influence and persuade, and now I'm doing it to serve Him.
Well, thank you for doing
awesome.
that.
That
That's
is
awesome,
awesome.
Carol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, tell the listeners out there where they can find your books, and
your website.
everything.
Sure. You can find me at carolkivler.com, and that's CarolKiv as in Victor, LER.com. You can also find courageousrecovery.org for my nonprofit, and the books are on Amazon. They're in the e-reader purpose. As a matter of fact, Will I Ever Be Seen Again is a bestseller every year as an ebook.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is take our commercial break, and we're going to be back with our next guest right after this.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks
for
for
being on
coming
Morning Coffee. It was a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure.